Hey, this is Captain Neil G. Hansen, President of the Air America Historical Social Club, and wishing you a Merry, Merry Christmas. This is our annual Fireside Chat, and we're going to go over and recap the events we endured during 2025. First off, I don't know how many of you know that I'm a docent at the Sheboygan Airport, which is where the Aviation Heritage Center is. There's a nice T-33 hanging out in front of it on a post, and a T-28 also, which the Hmong flew in Laos. And it has a Laotian roundel on it too. But that I'm docent at every Sunday, and I'd love it if you'd come by there, and I can show you the displays that are there. There's one on basically all my history, including my passport laid out in there, and my old suitcase and some of my hats, and letters from the royal family in Laos, and also from the agency chief back in those days. And further down the wall is another display of all the Air America aircraft, and also a timeline of how this adventure started out. Even back into the 1940s, when one of our airplanes was shot down in Laos, in China rather, and the agents were captured and held in captivity for 20 years until Nixon went to China and admitted they were Americans. They simply let them go. Also in 1950s, Earthquake Magoon's airplane, there's a replica of that when he was airdropping at Dien Bien Phu, and the sad end that came there. But AirVenture 2025 was a big event. I had two presentations there, one in the Skyscape Theater on covert aviation, and another one in another theater called the Last Plane Out of Cambodia, which was kind of a dual presentation with Luan Groska, and we enjoyed that quite well. And we hope to do something like that again this year. At the after party after AirVenture, we all came together on the other side of US 41 at Dennis and Sue Jones's house. And we had beer and pizza, and many notables were there, including Francis Gary Powers Jr., the son of the spy pilot, Pat Boland, who is a D.B. Cooper investigator and had given a presentation at AirVenture, and myself. And this party went on until, not the wee hours, but we wrapped it up before 9 o'clock at night. We had a lot of fun. Then I was down in Chicago at the Hilton Hotel for the International Mensa Convention. This was a big event, and I had a full theater for my presentation, and it was well received. Mensa has been in my life for quite a few years, and I've done several presentations for state chapters, and I will be doing another one for a Mensa group out in San Francisco, California. But we're going to do that on the internet, and it won't have to drive all the way out there. But following AirVenture, Bentonville, Arkansas was on our plate. And we drove down to Bentonville, Arkansas, which is a home of Sam Walton of Walmart fame, and gave a presentation at their wonderful facility at the airport, which was really good. And also, there was a Helio Courier in Air America colors, which was flown up there by Jody McAllister. And we did a presentation for the TV cameras out at his airplane. And also he had me sign the airplane baggage door, which was a real honor. I appreciated that. Jody's a good friend and does good work. The next event was done online with the Washington, D.C. Air and Space Museum, the Smithsonian there, and I did a presentation for their docents. And that was a lot of fun. And they were very astute, and I'm glad I did that one. Then came sadness. We lost Gene Hassenfuss in November, and Air America was represented by us at his memorial service. Gene had been a big player in many adventures throughout the world. He trained a lot of our loadmasters in Vietnam and up in Laos too. But his end of his flying career started down in Nicaragua when the airplane was shot down. And he was the sole survivor after bailing out, and eventually was released back to the United States. And he had health problems which finally took his life in November. Now, this week, in fact, probably day after tomorrow, we're going to have Coffee in the Hangar recording, which was with Daniel Macaroni. He's coming down out of Alaska to film this, and we'll be doing it right here by the Fireside tomorrow. And that will air up there at Coffee in the Hangar sometime during the first part of the year. Air Venture Oshkosh 2026 will bring us all the way back around the circle, and we'll be back at that venue too. But in the meantime, we've got a project working for a sequel. The proposed title is going to be Treetop Flyer, and as we flesh this book out, we'll let you know soon as we know when it's going to be published and released on Amazon. Thank you very much. I appreciate your attendance, and come see us.